As I said, attendance is mandatory for this workshop. We need to be present because it was already announced earlier that you would be having some questions and assignments to do and to submit. Attendance is mandatory, friends. Right. For the second session, we have Professor Sajid Jamal sir with us. He's a very eminent personality and an excellent trainer. He has been with AMU as the professor in education department, and he was previously associated with Maulana Azad National Urdu University. He has worked in several capacities at Aligarh Muslim University and has associated as an inspection committee member and in various capacities with many government, state government, and central government bodies like National Council for Education Research and Training, NCTE, NIOS, with SCERT, that is State Council of Education Research and Training, with District Institute of Education and Training, National Institute of Open Schooling, with the CBSE, Central Board of Secondary Education, with UGC, and many more. The list is endless. He has conducted more than 300 training programs, and a number of research papers are to his credit. So I'm sure you all would find his session very interesting and very knowledgeable. So on to Professor Sajid Jamal. Thank you, sir, for being with us.
Uh, Thank you, ma'am, for such a generous introduction. So I don't think I do deserve for such a generous introduction, but it's all the generosity of Yasmin, ma'am. So the topic that has been given to me is curriculum design and development, and I can see a lot of experienced teachers who have joined this program, and I'm quite sure that you people know what curriculum is. So before I am supplementing, I would like to know from you people, what do you understand by curriculum? So I'm waiting for your response. Please respond.
The participants may please respond. Even the speaker will have the motivation to continue further. I request everybody to please collaborate and participate in the session.
Right. My friends, my question is, what is curriculum? So please respond. No one?
Miss,
Good afternoon.
Yes, yes.
thank you.
So,
Thank you. Please go on.
Smita ma'am, please speak.
Sir, I think curriculum is a sum total of all sorts of activities that that an educational institution can arrange for the students. It includes activities inside the classroom and outside the classroom. It's a sum total of all sorts of activities that is essential for a student's all-round development.
Okay. That's very comprehensive. So, Sushmita ma'am, what do you teach?
Sir, actually, my subject is education.
That's why. That's very good. Very good. So, where do you teach, ma'am?
My respective institution is Haldia Government College under Bidyasagar University, West Bengal.
West Bengal. Okay. So, thank you very much. That was a very comprehensive definition of curriculum that was given by Sushmita ma'am. So, anyone else would like to supplement Sushmita ma'am?
Sorry, sir. Can you please repeat?
I'm asking other people if they want to supplement something to you.
I don't know, sir, if anyone is willing.
Anybody, any other participants would like
Yes.
to add something more
Yes,
to what
please speak.
Mrs. Susmita has said?
Please speak, my friend.
Yes, sir.
Tamim, sir.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir. I hope that it's. I think to give some concept that meets the standards for the students.
okay, okay. So Kanan sir, do you want to say something?
Yes, sir. Actually, it is some courses along with content and some instruction methods, and also it provides some assessment evaluations, and it
Right.
gives some learning objective and outcome, sir.
Okay, okay. Kanan sir, what do you teach?
I'm teaching electronics and communication engineering, sir,
Where, sir?
from B.S. Abdurrahman Crescent Institute.
Okay, okay. Very good, very good. And Tamim sir, what do you teach, sir?
So I'm taking pharmacy.
Pharmacy.
I'm teaching pharmacy,
Where,
B
sir? Where,
pharmacy.
where do you teach?
Abdurrahman, B.S. Abdurrahman
Okay.
Crescent
Oh,
Institute of
okay. Very
Engineering.
good. Very good. So
Thank
thank you, my friends. I have got 3 opinion about what curriculum is. Now I'm going to supplement. Something more is required because curriculum is a very comprehensive term. So for that, I'm going to share my screen. Just wait. I'm sharing my screen. So I'm sharing my screen, my friends. Please wait. Now please tell me, can you see my screen?
Yeah, yes,
Yes, sir. Yes,
Professor,
sir.
it is
It's
clear.
visible.
Yes, sir.
Visible.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, my friends. So the topic is curriculum design and development. Basically, this is NEP 2020 sensitization workshop. And at this juncture of time, definitely you people are serving at junior level. I mean, most of you are assistant professor, but very soon, definitely you will become associate professor and professor, and then definitely you will become the member of the board of studies and the academic council, where you will work on this, how a curriculum is designed, how a curriculum is developed. So there are so many principles, there are so many types of curriculum, there are so many steps of curriculum design. So my whole lecture will be focusing on that. So I have started my lecture with a question, what curriculum is, and after getting your responses, I'm going to supplement. So I'm sure you can see the slide. There are 5 points on the slide, and I would like to request any one of you to please read the slide loudly so that other may listen it. Any one of you, please read the slide. My friends, can you see the slide?
Uh, would
Yeah,
anybody like to read the slide, please?
yeah. Anyone, please read it loudly.
The word curriculum has been derived from the Latin word
Yeah,
curre,
curious.
which means
Yeah, yeah,
which means race course used by chariots.
yeah.
Hence, it is any path or course of study to be undertaken by an educational institutions to be covered in a specified time frame.
Mm,
The course of events can take place inside the educational institutions and also outside it.
right, right. Second
It
point,
is it is study of subjects taught.
right,
It includes the experiences necessary for individuals of society to have
right,
social skills, problem solving, and communications ability.
right,
It is
right, my
designed for both present and emerging purposes,
right.
and it is dynamic.
Very good. Who are you, sir?
This is Tamim, sir.
Mr.
I mean,
Tamim of BSA Crescent. Thank you,
right.
Mr. Tamim.
Thank you,
Thank
Tamim, sir.
you very much.
So, etymologically, if we see, the word curriculum has been derived from Latin word curia. It means simply the race course used by chariots, or simply the path on which you move and you reach one place to another place. So if you want to move from one place to another place, definitely you have to follow some path, and that path is curriculum. So you have certain objectives. I mean, whether it is pharmacy course, whether it is engineering course or whether it is management course, every course has some objectives. So in order to attain those objectives, you have to follow some particular path, and that path is curriculum. So in the narrow sense, it might be, you may define it as a subject of as the study of subject start, but it's a very narrow definition of curriculum. Curriculum is much more wide, and as Sushmita ma'am in the beginning said, it includes all those experiences which we provide to the students inside the classrooms as well as outside the classroom. So curriculum basically is very comprehensive. If you come to the third point, so it includes all those, skills like social skills, problem solving skills, communication ability, which is very important for an individual to become a successful person in the society. Definitely it is designed for both the present as well as for emerging purposes, and curriculum is dynamic. So all of you are teachers. At this juncture of time, I would like to know from you people, what do you understand by this point, that curriculum is dynamic? My friends, please respond.
Sir, that means it keeps on changing.
Okay. And any more criteria? Any more thing?
Sir, I think dynamic means it's changing. It's changing with the times, with the flow of the society. As because
Very good.
society is a dynamic process. It is a dynamic concept, and education is a part of the entire society.
Right.
That's why curriculum is a changing. Is a
Right.
changing concept.
Right. Sushmita, you are Sushmita ma'am, na? I think.
Yes, sir.
So Sushmita ma'am, you just see 10th class book. I mean, our 12th class book when you were in 10th class or 12th class. And at this juncture of time, today's 10th class and 12th class book. So do you think the book is same?
No, sir. It's completely changed. The syllabus is completely changed.
Yes, and changed in so many ways. In
Yes,
our
sir.
time, books were not so attractive. I mean, book didn't contain so many activities, so many tables, so many figures. I mean, book were bookish in nature. But nowadays, if you see, a book have been written in such a way that it seems to be interactive.
Exactly.
Moreover, whatever the concept you studied in 10th class, so many concepts have become obsolete nowadays. They have been replaced by the new concept. So by that way, curriculum is dynamic. And another thing that you mentioned, ma'am, that's very significant, that basically curriculum, in fact, satisfies the needs of the society. So in my time, in your time, I'm quite sure I didn't hear the name artificial intelligence, and I'm quite sure you people also. When you were a student, I mean, of 9th class or 10th class or something like that. In our time, computers were not an integral part of our curriculum. But nowadays, if you see, I mean, you can't survive without computers, without ICT skills, and artificial intelligence and all such type of concepts. They are being introduced at a very early age. So curriculum is dynamic simply means that so many new concepts come, and those concepts which have become obsolete, or those concepts which have become outdated, they are being replaced by the new concept. So by that way, curriculum is dynamic. Now I'm coming to the next slide, and I want to present before you people what curriculum design and development is. So since this group is very diverse, in fact, so that's why I have chosen very simple points so that you might understand. So I've chosen just 2 points to explain what curriculum design and development is. So all these 2 points are mentioned on this slide, and I would like to request any one of you to please read the slide. My friend, any one of you, please read the slide. My friends, any one of you, please read the slide.
May I, sir, read the slide?
Sure.
Yeah. The curriculum design is a term used to describe the purposeful, deliberate, and systematic organization of curriculum within a class or course. In other words, it is a way for teachers to plan instruction, When teachers design curriculum, they identify what will be done, who will do it, and what schedule to follow.
Right. Second
Next,
point. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Next, curriculum development is defined as the process of selecting, organizing, executing, and evaluating the learning experiences on the basis of the needs, abilities, and interest of learners, and on the basis of the nature of the society or community.
Right. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. So by these 2 points, you can understand what curriculum design it. I mean, number one, it's a purposeful activity, it's deliberate activity, it's a systematic organization of various instructional blocks for a particular course. So who is going to teach, how he or she is going to teach, where he or she is going to teach, what schedule, I mean, that particular teacher will follow. I mean, everything we discuss, we design, we do it, and this whole process is known as curriculum design. Coming to the second point, you select, you organize, you execute, and you evaluate the learning experiences, and those learning experiences purely on the basis of the needs, abilities, and interests of the learners, number one. And number two, the needs and interest of the society as well, because education, you can't make education separate from society. So education is not imparted in vacuum, so in which society we live, or in which community we live, somehow it has some aspirations or like that. So no, we the moment we design the curriculum, we not only keep into account the students' need and abilities and interests, rather the societies as well. So this is the process of curriculum development. Now, there's one common confusion. There are two terms which are synonymously used, but they are different from each other, and that is curriculum and syllabus. So for the sake of clarity, I have mentioned 5 points on this particular slide, and this particular slide, I'm quite sure will enable you to differentiate curriculum from the syllabus. So I'd like to request any one of you to please read the slide. My friend, any one of you, please read the slide. Yes, ma'am, please. Yes, ma'am, read it.
Curriculum and syllabus.
Yeah.
Syllabus is a part of the curriculum. Syllabus is narrow, whereas the curriculum is wide. Syllabus is written. Curriculum may be written by or hidden. Syllabus is concerned with the cognitive development.
Whereas
Curriculum is concerned with the all-round development. Syllabus is concerned with mainly curricular aspects, whereas curriculum is concerned with the co-curricular aspects.
Right. Who are you, ma'am?
I am Shipra Samanto, Huldia Government College, under Vidyasagar University.
Okay, Shipra ma'am. Okay, Shipra ma'am. Shipra ma'am, what do you teach?
Education, my subject.
Okay, very good, Shipra ma'am. Thank you. So let me differentiate curriculum from the syllabus, as Shipra ma'am has just read the slide. The first point, definitely in the beginning I explained, curriculum is much comprehensive, much bigger, whereas syllabus is a narrow part of curriculum. So curriculum is wide and syllabus is narrow. So third point, if you come, that's very important. Syllabus is strictly prescribed or strictly written. So this particular paper contains 4 units. In every unit, there are 10 topics. So in total, there are 40 topics. So, how many periods you have to devote on first unit, how many periods you have to devote for the second unit, how you are going to evaluate. I mean, everything is strictly prescribed. But curriculum may be written or curriculum may be hidden. So how curriculum is hidden? So let me tell you one story that's very interesting. I'm quite sure this story you will like it. So in my introduction, Yasmin ma'am mentioned that I'm a teacher educator, and basically my job is to teach, to train the teachers. And I have trained so many teachers. So on every first day, beginning of the session, when my BEd students come, I used to tell them this story, the story which I am going to tell you. This story revolves around a great warrior in the history, one of the greatest commanders in the history, Alexander the Great. So my friends, do you know who was the teacher of Alexander the Great? My friends, listening to me?
Sir, I think so. Probably you can share it with us.
Okay. So Aristotle was the teacher of Alexander, and it is said that Aristotle has played very important role uh, in shaping the personality of Alexander. And Aristotle was a great philosopher, so he knew where India is, where Persia is. I mean, he has a lot of knowledge. So in fact, it was Aristotle who somehow groomed Alexander to win the world. So there was one country in Europe that was very strong, that was very prosperous, that was very big. And Alexander's father also wanted to win over it, but he failed. So Alexander thought that he is going to attack on that country and to win it. So with a huge army, with a grand army, Alexander attacked on that country. And all the great generals of Macedonia of that time, very brave people, all of them were there with Alexander. And Aristotle was also there in that army. So, Alexander is very brave and with, lot of courage and, excitement. They attacked on that country. So slowly and slowly, the army of that country started fleeing from the battlefield. So they reversed slowly and slowly, and then they flew from the battlefield. And they came to the fort of that country. That fort was very strong. It was very big. It can accommodate lakh of people. So it was situated near a river bank. So they all, in fact, got the refuge in that fort. So now it was a very difficult situation. Victory is not completed unless and until Alexander's army is going to win over the fort. And fort can't be reached. Why? Because it was on the bank of a river, and there was one wooden bridge, but that wooden bridge was burnt by that army, and all the boats and everything were replaced by that army, so that Alexander's army could not cross the river. And at that time, river was flooded, in fact. So it was very difficult. How to do? I mean, how to cross the river, how to reach to the fort, how to win the fort. So to do this, Alexander organized a meeting of all of his journals, and in that meeting, Aristotle was also there. So the issue was how to reach to the fort, how to cross the river. So someone gave the suggestion that we can't cross the river unless and until we will be able to know the depth of the river as well as the flow of the water. So someone of us will go to the river, will enter into the water, and will try to find the depth of the river as well as the flow of the water. Then accordingly, we can make any strategy. So this suggestion was liked by everyone. But the $1,000,000 question was, who is going to the river? So no one offered his services. So since no one offered his services, so finally Alexander said, okay. Finally Aristotle said, okay, Alexander, since no one is willing to go to the river, so I'm sponsoring, I'm going. I will go to the river, I will enter into the water, and I will try to find the depth of the river as well as the flow of the water. So immediately he was forbidden by Alexander. Alexander said, oh, my great teacher, you don't go to the river, rather I will go to the river. So then, there was a argument between Alexander and Aristotle. So Aristotle said, Alexander, you are the commander-in-chief of this grand army. If you will go to the river, if you will enter into the water and you will be drowned, then your whole army will lose its morale. And for the great purpose for which we have come here, that great purpose will not be served. Listening to it, my friends, what Alexander said, that was very historical. Alexander said, yes, I do agree with you. Oh, my great teacher, if I will go to the river, I will enter into the water and I will be drowned, and you will be there, then you can prepare thousands of Alexanders. But oh, my great teacher, if you will go to the river and you will be drowned, then me and my whole army will not be able to prepare a single Aristotle. My friend, listen to it. My friends, listen to this story. Please respond.
Yes, sir.
Hmm. So what the moral of this story? My friends, please respond. Meenakshi ma'am, Tamim sir. Yeah,
Participants,
yes.
please respond to the speaker.
Okay. Now I'm changing the question. My question is this: do you think that it is written in my syllabus that I have to tell this story on every first day in the B.Ed class, my friends?
No, sir.
No, no. But I used to tell this story just to motivate them, just to tell them what heavy responsibility lies on their shoulders, how much important they are for the society. The society in which we live, that society puts a lot of emphasis, lot of importance on teachers. So though it is not written that I have to tell this story, but I tell this story just to motivate them. So through this, I wanted to explain, my friends, that syllabus is strictly written, but curriculum may be written or curriculum may be written. Coming to the next point, syllabus is concerned with the cognitive development, whereas curriculum is concerned with the all-round development. So what is cognitive development, my friends? My friends, please respond.
So cognitive development is the development of the academic capabilities of an individual,
That's it.
like
That's it.
knowledge, understanding, etc.
Very good. Very good. So cognitive development, mental development. But all-round development is what? It is much more. It's a big term. So it includes physical development, social development, moral development, emotional development, spiritual development. So now syllabus is mainly concerned with the mental development or cognitive development, whereas curriculum is concerned with the all-round development. Now the last difference that is there between curriculum and syllabus, syllabus is concerned with mainly curricular aspects, whereas curriculum is concerned with the co-curricular aspect. Now, what are co-curricular aspects, my friends? What's your opinion? My friends? Okay. Let me reframe the question. Do you think that leadership quality and communication skills and creativity and critical thinking and collaboration, all these are important, my friends? My
Yes,
friends,
sir. These are important.
these
Yes,
are
sir, they are
these are
important.
these are important. So through games and sports, through debates, through quizzes, by organizing various fairs like science fairs, eco club, all these things, so many qualities, so many skills, so many values among the students are inculcated. So by following the syllabus, they will have only bookish knowledge. But curriculum is not limited to only bookish knowledge. Rather, it is concerned with inculcating so many values and so many skills among the students. So in a nutshell, these were the 5 major differences between curriculum and syllabus. Now, next slide, I want to devote what are the purposes of curriculum design. So again, there are 5 points. So I would like to request any one of you to please read these 5 points. My friends, any one of you, please read the slide.
I'd request all the participants to please collaborate in the session. Please join.
Yeah. My friend?
Respond to whatever the speaker is asking, please.
Yeah.
Purposes of curriculum design.
Yeah.
To improve student learning, to
Right.
create a seamless continuum from elementary to secondary and senior secondary school,
Right.
to achieve the learning goals at different stages, to
Right.
prepare the students to face the real life challenges,
Right.
to ensure the all-round development of students.
Thank you. Thank you. Who are you, ma'am?
I am Dr. Kehkashan Fatma.
Oh, Kehkashan, ma'am. What do you teach, ma'am?
Sir, I teach chemistry
Where, ma'am?
at Women's College, AMU, Aligarh.
Oh, okay, 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 okay. Very good, Kehkashan, ma'am. Thank you, thank you. So now, these might be the purposes of curriculum design. Definitely to improve student learning, because everything that we do, somehow it is for the learning of the students. So, I mean, the moment we will think over it, how to teach, where to teach, I mean, what is steps we should follow, what organization we should follow, definitely it's going to improve the learning. So first purpose of curriculum design is to improve student learning. Then creating a seamless continuum. So what is seamless continuum? You know, if you talk about history, if you talk about mathematics, if you talk about chemistry or any subject, so you know, at lower level, mainly we keep such type of topics which are concrete in nature, or which are easy to understand, which are not very abstract, or which are not very complex. But as soon as we move upwards, I mean, from elementary level to secondary or senior secondary, or to, you know, graduate and postgraduate level, so slowly and slowly that abstract nature of the topic comes, and, you know, we move from simple to complex, we move from known to unknown, we move from you know, concrete to abstract. So by that way we try to create a seamless continuum. This is the second purpose of curriculum design. Then at every stage we have different learning goals. Of course, I mean, the elementary level has different learning goals, secondary, senior secondary, graduate and postgraduate, I mean, all these levels have different learning goals. So to achieve those learning goals at different stages, definitely I mean, we design the curriculum. Then coming to the fourth point, to prepare the students to face the real life challenges. Now, do you think over it? I mean, think over it. My question, I'm asking a question. So do you think that the bookish knowledge is sufficient for the students to face their real life challenges, my friends?
No, sir, not at all.
Definitely. So let me tell you one incident. So 4 years back, there was one unfortunate incident, and that was related to the unfortunate suicide of one of the very bright actors, Sushant Singh Rajput. I'm quite sure you people are aware about this. So you know about it, my friends? My friends?
Yes, sir, we have heard it.
Yeah. So it was very unfortunate. So can you say that Sushant Singh Rajput was not educated, or was not learned, or he didn't have the degrees, or he didn't have the bookish knowledge? What's your opinion, my friends? I think he was a graduate of IIT, isn't it, my friends?
Yes, sir.
He was a great actor.
He was a very good actor, and besides being a good actor, I mean, he secured 7th rank all over India in IIT. IIT test is one of the toughest tests in the world. You know, 15, 16, 18, 20 lakh students appear, and in that test, if someone is securing 7th rank, I think it's a huge achievement. That's a remarkable achievement. And you know, passing BTech from such a good institution, one of the most prestigious institutions of the world, but you know, he couldn't sustain the challenges. I mean, he couldn't face the challenges, and such an unfortunate decision he took. So why? Simply because you know, the bookish knowledge sometimes miserably fails in real life. So what's the purpose of curriculum design? It's the fourth purpose of curriculum design, that we should prepare the students so that they may face the real life challenges. Then, of course, last point, ensure the all-round development of students. So in a nutshell, these are the 5 purposes of curriculum design. Now I'm coming to another aspect of curriculum, that's very important. How many components of curriculum are there? So again, if you'll go through the books or if you'll go through the internet resources, you will find plenty of components. Some scholars have mentioned only 3, some have mentioned 5, some have mentioned 7. But since this is a diverse group, so keeping in view the diversity of the audience, just I have kept only 4 components of curriculum, and these 4 components are related with each other. So my friends, what are these components? Can you identify it from the slide, my friends?
Yes, sir.
How many components are there?
So there are 4 components: aims
Yeah.
and objectives,
Yes.
subject matter, learning experiences, and evaluation.
Right. So these are the 4 components of a curriculum. Aims and objectives, definitely it's the most important thing. Then comes subject matter. So let me give you one example. Your purpose is to make good technicians, good doctors, good engineers, good surgeons. So accordingly, subject matter you will choose. I mean, you will not rely only on bookish knowledge. Rather, you will have some practical aspect as well. But your purpose is to make them historian, your purpose is to make them political scientists, your purpose is to make them sociologists or like that. So no problem. You can mainly rely on bookish knowledge, no problem at all. So the first component of the curriculum is aims and objectives. Second one, the subject matter. Third one, the learning experiences. So as will be your subject matter, accordingly the learning experiences you will provide. So for example, your subject matter is bookish in nature. So definitely most of the time you will follow lecture. So they will listen to your lecture. They will be noting down the important points. They will be asking some questions. They will be clarifying their doubts. I mean, and your job will be over. But if your purpose is to make them technicians, to make them surgeons, so you have to accompany them to the operation theater. You have to accompany them to the, factories and, industries where they will have the real life experience. I mean, how something is made, how something is marketed, how something is packed, or how some operation is done. I mean, how anesthesia is given, how stitching is done. I mean, all those things. So these are related with each other. As will be your aims, accordingly, so subject matter you will choose. As will be your subject matter, accordingly, the learning experiences you will choose. And as the learning experiences you have provided, accordingly, you will evaluate. So, for example, if you have imparted only bookish knowledge, that is, you have relied only on lecture method. So, accordingly, you will have MCQs or short answer type questions or essay type questions or something like that. But if you have provided them some practical experiences, then accordingly, all those practical experiences, I mean, how much skills have been inculcated among them, you have to evaluate. So by that way, your evaluation pattern will be different. So all these 4 components of curriculum are related with each other. Now I'm coming to one very important aspect of curriculum design. How many types of curriculum design are there? So again, if you'll go through the books, so you will find plenty of types of curriculum design. But mainly these 3 types of curriculum design I'm talking, which are prevalent in our country, India. So subject-centered curriculum design, most widely used, and it's very old. Uh, uh, Learner-centered curriculum design, a little bit newer, and problem-centered curriculum design, newest. So on all these type of curriculum design, just I am focusing one by one. So first I am focusing on subject-centered curriculum design. So any one of you, please read the slide. My friend, any one of you, please read the slide.
Yes. Subject-centered curriculum design revolves around a particular subject matter or discipline. This type of curriculum design tends to focus on the subject rather than the individual. This is the most common type of curriculum used in India. Subject-centered curriculum designs describes what needs to be studied and how it should be studied. It is not student-centered, and it's constructed without taking into account the specific learning styles of the students.
Sajid?
Hello.
Sajid, sir, are you there? Mr. Tamim, are you able to hear me?
Yes, we
Yes,
can hear.
ma'am. I think there were some issues. So thank you, my friends, for reading this particular slide. So I was talking about subject-centered curriculum. Also, who was the person reading the slide?
Tamim, sir. This is Tamim from
Okay, Tamim.
BS
Okay.
Drama.
Thank you. Okay. So subject-centered curriculum design. So in the beginning, I mentioned it revolves around a particular subject matter or discipline. I mean, we don't consider about the students. We don't consider about anything. Just experts of the subjects. They are there, and they decide what minimum knowledge a student should have. For example, we are drafting chemistry syllabus. Experts of chemistry will be there. So suppose it is undergraduate curriculum. So how much minimum knowledge a student of chemistry, undergraduate student of chemistry should have? So it will be decided by the experts. I mean, whether they like it, whether they don't like it, I mean, nothing matters. Just expert design everything according to their own opinion. And even before the students' arrival, we do it. Even when they didn't enter in the campus, we do it in advance. So it is very rigid. It's very old. It's very much, you can say, formal. And it's the most common type of curriculum used in India. So definitely it is not student centered, and it is constructed without taking into account the specific learning styles of the students. So what is learning style, by the way, my friends? My friends? My friends, listening to me? Okay, I'm explaining. There are some students who are known as surface learners. There are some students who are known as deep learners. So who are deep learners? Who are not satisfied by just small explanation or just theories or just cramming some formula. No, they go in detail. So they are deep learners. Contrary to it, there are few learners who just want to pass the exam, so they don't want to go into detail. Just, only important thing of the syllabus they read, and by that way, they pass the exam. So, deep learners, surface learners. There are so many type of learning style. But so far as one of the demerit of this subject-centered curriculum is concerned, that it's very rigid and it does not take into account the specific learning styles of the students. Contrary to subject-centered curriculum design, we have a better curriculum design, and that is known as learner-centered curriculum design. So again, 5 points have been mentioned by me on this slide, and I'm quite sure these 5 points will be sufficient for you to understand what is learner-centered curriculum design. So any one of you, please read this slide. My friend, any one of you, please read the slide.
Shall I read it for a change?
Sure.
This curriculum design takes each individual's needs, interests, and goals into consideration. Learner-centered curriculum design is meant to empower learners and allow them to shape their education through choices. Instructional plans in a learner-centered curriculum are differentiated, giving students the opportunity to choose assignments, learning experiences, or activities. The drawback to this form of curriculum design is that it is labor-intensive. It also requires that teachers balance students' wants and interests with student needs and required outcomes, which is not an easy balance to obtain.
Thank you, Yasmin ma'am. I think I have conducted so many sessions in NEP sensitization workshop, and I think this is the first time any coordinator is reading my slide. Thank you, ma'am. That shows your seriousness for the program. Thank you very much. So, as Yasmin ma'am has mentioned, if you compare learner-centered curriculum design to the previous one, that is subject-centered curriculum design, so the drawback of that was that it was prepared by the experts. But in this type of curriculum design, that is learner-centered curriculum design, individuals' needs, interests, and goals are kept into account, and it empowers learners. Definitely, the moment you will give more and more choice to the students, definitely they will feel empowered. So, I mean, as much choices as we can accommodate. Now, at this juncture of time, I would like to know from you people, have you heard about CBCS? Let me repeat, CBCS. Have you heard about it, my friends?
Yes, sir.
So what is it?
Sir, I think it's choice-based credit system.
Choice-based credit system. So what is it, ma'am? What's the peculiarity of this system?
So, I think first of all, it's semester. So every 6 months, the students are expected to appear for the semester, one odd and one even in a year.
Right.
And they have certain credits attached to their. I mean, when there was CBCS, we used to have an honors subject, and there were elective subjects. So the weightage or the points attached to the honors and the electives were different.
Right.
But now, of course, with the NEP system, we have major subjects and minor subjects, and MDC and VAC subjects.
Okay. Okay. So, in a nutshell, you know what you do in CBCS? Few papers are compulsory, which are taught to every student. Every student is required to learn those papers, compulsory papers. But somewhere we allow them to choose. I mean, any 3 among 5, or 3 one group, 2 another group, 3 another group, 5 another group, I mean something like that. Choose any one group. I mean, so many ways we provide them choice. That's why it is known as choice-based credit system. And there's a perfect example of learner-centered curriculum design. So certain kind of rigidity is there, of course, in CBCS as well, but it is much flexible in comparison to the subject-centered curriculum design. Then comes a third point that's very important, that in subject-centered curriculum design, most of the time we follow lecture and teaching strategies are monotonous. Whereas in learner-centered curriculum design, we follow so many strategies. I mean, sometimes we give them lecture, sometimes we provide them to go through some case study, sometimes we give them assignments, we provide learning experiences or activities. I mean, so many ways are there to impart the knowledge. So this is the third peculiarity of this, learner-centered curriculum design. But again, if you talk about the drawback, it is labor intensive. And another drawback is that definitely I have seen so many classrooms. I don't know what is the situation in your institution, but I have seen so many institutions in which there are 100 students or 150 students in one class of undergraduate students, So accommodating all the students' choice, I mean, it's very difficult, almost impossible. So where the classes are small or where the resources are there, so definitely we can accommodate so many choices. But if you have less resources and you have huge classrooms, then it's very difficult to accommodate the choices. But contrary to subject-centered curriculum design, definitely this type of curriculum design is better. Now, I'm coming to the third type of curriculum design, that is problem-centered curriculum design. So what is it? 2 points are there, and I'm quite sure you can, by going through these 2 points, you can understand what problem-centered curriculum design is. So any one of you, please read the slide. Any one of you, my friends, please read it.
A problem-centered curriculum design. This is also a form of student-centered design. Problem-centered curriculum focus on teaching students how to look at a problem and come up with a solution to the problem. Students are thus exposed to real-life issues, which helps them develop skills that are transferable to the real world. Next, problem-centered curriculum design increases the relevance of the curriculum and allows students to be creative and innovative as they are learning. The drawback to this form of curriculum design is that it doesn't always take learning styles into consideration.
Right. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. So, as ma'am has just read it, and you can see the slides so you can understand, problem-centered curriculum design basically focuses on inculcating problem-solving ability among the students. And I'm quite sure as a teacher, you will agree with me that each one of us has been blessed with problem-solving ability. So, my friends, do you agree with me on this point?
Yes, sir.
Of course, of course. So at this juncture of time, I'm just telling you a very motivating story. This story is of an IS officer, and that IS officer was from the city of your coordinator, Yasmin ma'am, and that is Chennai. So his name is was Musa Raza. He's no more. He died in the month of May. It's a very dynamic, very vibrant IS officer. He was a Gujarat cadre IS officer, and he retired from active services in 1995. Then he settled in Chennai, and in Chennai, he runs a lot of educational institution. So in one of the programs of his educational institution, I got the opportunity to meet him. I have heard a lot about him already. So I asked one question to that IS officer. Sir, an IS officer solves so many problems every day almost. So there is no need to say you have solved so many problems in your career. But sir, any difficult problem that you have solved in very difficult situation and that is still you remember. So if it is there, you please tell me. So he said, yes, professor, there was one problem that I solved under very difficult circumstances. So I said, sir, what was those circumstances? Then he started narrating the story. And he was a very good speaker, in fact. So he started narrating the story. He said, professor, I qualified IS at a very young age in first attempt. And after getting the training, my first posting was as the collector of Surat district of Gujarat. And you know, Surat is situated near the river Tapti. So he said, professor, each and everything was normal in the city on 25th of July 1968. So at 11 in the night, I retired, I went to the bed and I slept. Then in the morning, around 5 a.m., someone was knocking very violently at the door of my bedroom. So immediately I woke up, I opened the door and I found my secretary is there. So I became very angry and I asked, why you are knocking so violently? What has happened? So the secretary said, sir, whole city is flooded. My friends listening to me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So what the secretary told to Musa Raza?
It's also completely flooded. Surat is flooded.
All city is flooded. So I said, are you mad? When I slept in the night at 11, not even a single drop of rain was there. Now, in as many as 5 to 6 hours, you are saying that whole city is flooded. He said, yes, sir. Heavy downpour was there. And since Surat is situated near the river Tapti, so whole river Tapti got flooded. And the water of that river now has come to the street and, roads of Surat. Since you are collector of this district, so I thought you should be woken up. So please wake up and do the needful. Now, definitely, I'm talking about 1968. So it was a very difficult time. At that time, ATMs were not there. At that times, communications and, transportation channels were not very advanced. I mean, definitely. But, these IS officers, they are trained to solve the problems. So immediately he summoned all the officers, all the people of collector office. Then he started thinking over what to do. Then they came to one decision that let's work on the embankment of the river. So let's open that embankment from some places. I mean, 7, 8 or 10 places, so that the water of the river may go outside. And the moment the water of the river will go outside, then the water of the streets and roads will come inside the river. And finally, the situation will get normalized. So they extensively worked on that 4 to 5 days. Much hard work they did. And finally, the flood problem was solved. But flood problem was solved, but another problem arose. And that problem was law and order problem. Why? Because the people of Surat, when they slept in that fateful night, they didn't store enough things to eat. So whatever the cereals, whatever the bread, whatever the milk, whatever the fruit, or whatever the eatable things were there, they consumed in these 4 to 5 days. Now there was nothing in their kitchen. They all were hungry. They wanted to eat. They wanted to purchase something. And things were there in the market. But the problem was that people didn't have the money. And I'm talking about 1968. At that time, ATMs were not there, definitely. So just, realizing the gravity of the situation, immediately Musa Raza summoned all the bank managers of the Surat city and instructed them to open the bank. But all the bank managers with folded hand, they said, sir, we can't make bank functional because all of our currencies are wet, all of our ledgers are wet, all of our account books and everything is wet. So we will dry it up for 6 to 7 days. Before 1 week, we can't make the bank functional. So definitely it was a very difficult situation. And under those difficult situations, Musa Raza took a very risky decision. And I'm quite sure only the person of such caliber like Musa Raza can take such a risky decision. He said, okay, instructed all the clerks and peons and all the people of collector office that don't create panic, don't create chaos, bring plain paper to the collector office and bring some scissors. Now start cutting the papers in the shape of notes. So at that time, 4 notes were prevalent. 1 rupee note, which was very small in size. 2 rupee note, which was a little bit bigger. 5 rupee note, which was a little bit more bigger. And 10 rupees note, which was quite bigger, So 20, 50 and 100 rupee notes were there, but people didn't prefer that. These 4 notes were prevalent. And these 4 notes differ only in size. So Musa Raza said, use the scissor to cut the papers in the shape of notes and make piles. So all 1 rupees note, make a pile. Then all 2 rupees note, make a pile. All 5 rupees notes, make a pile. All 10 rupees notes, make a pile. And stamp. On all the smaller papers, stamp 1. Then on another pile, stamp 2. Another pile, stamp 5. And another pile, stamp 10. And I will sign on each piece of paper. And my sign will ensure that it's not a simply piece of paper. Rather, it's a currency of 1 rupee, 2 rupee, 5 rupee, or 10 rupee. Instructed the people, don't create chaos, don't create panic. Come to the collector office with some ration card or some identity proof. There will be one register in the collector office where your name and address will be written. And each one of you will be given 10 rupees. 10 rupees, not the actual rupees, rather that artificial currency, that fake currency that has been created at the collector office. So you take this fake currency, go to the market and instructed the shopkeepers that whosoever bears this currency, this paper bearing my signature, you have to exchange the goods in return of that. Violating my order will invite strict punishment. So you, instructed the shopkeepers, you keep on collecting all these fake currencies with you. He instructed the people that we expect that after 1 week, the banks will be functional. So you go to the bank. At this juncture of time, you are taking 10 rupees fake from collector office. But when the banks will be opened, you go to the bank, take 10 rupees actual and come to the collector office and deposit 10 rupees actual. And instructed the shopkeepers that I will send you an invitation from collector office. So the moment you are getting my invitation, you come to collector office, and at collector office, all of your fake currencies will be exchanged with the actual currencies. My friends, listen to this story. My friends.
Yes.
Nice story.
Yes, sir.
Nice story, my friends.
Yes, sir.
Right, right, right. So
Hello.
through this story, do you
It is
think
not
that
story, sir. It is history.
okay, so do you think it was written in the book that if flood will come, so you do this, my friends? My friends, it was written in the book. The solution of this problem was written in the book.
No, sir. No, sir.
Of course,
This
of
is
course.
the real life situation.
That's it. That's it. And my friends, plenty of time we feel that the bookish knowledge miserably fails in real life. So that's why this type of curriculum design focuses on what? Providing more and more exposure to the real life problems, to the real life issues, so that the students might develop problem solving ability, and after leaving the college, after leaving the university, when they are going to their real life and they are facing some problem, they may solve their problem. So this is the newest approach, and so many institutions in the country, so many courses, so many universities, they have adopted this type of curriculum. So definitely, needless to say, it's a very good type of curriculum design, but the problem is that it's very slow. In fact, it's very difficult to design, so many things you have to have. And not only it's slow, rather it requires a lot of resources as well. So if the students are more in the classrooms and you have less resources, then definitely it will be very problematic. Otherwise, if you see the virtue of this type of curriculum design, it is better in comparison to subject centered as well as learner centered. So in a nutshell, I have presented before you people three types of curriculum design. I started with subject centered, and I told that it's very rigid, hardly there is any flexibility, and students at interest and needs are not taken into account. Then I talked about learner centered, which is much better in comparison to subject centered. And then I talked about problem centered curriculum design, which is much better in comparison to both. I mean, that is subject centered or learner centered. Now I'm coming to one point, and that's very important. Curriculum design tips. It might help you the moment you will be a member of academic council, or you will be a member on some committees that is going to design the curriculum, or you'll be the member of the board of studies, or like that. So again, there might be so many tips, but these 7 tips are very important. And I would like to request any one of you to please read these points. So any one of you, please read these points.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Identify the needs of the learners. Create a clear list of learning goals and outcomes. Identify constraints. Consider creating a curriculum map. Identify the instructional methods. Establish evaluational methods. Remember that curriculum design is not a one-step process.
Right, my friend. So, I mean, these are the tips of curriculum design. So you have to start with the needs of the learner. What are the needs of the learners? So, I mean, everything is done for the betterment of the learners. So definitely, I mean, what they need, what they want. So this is the first step. Then create a clear list of learning goals and outcomes. So I think so many of you will be associated with IQAC. So have you heard about PSOs, my friends? My friends? Program specific outcomes. Have you heard about it, my friends?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I mean, every course, every paper has some outcomes. So the moment you are designing the curriculum, you have to have this learning goal. What the expected outcomes are, so far as this particular course is concerned. Then identify the constraints. There are so many constraints: time constraints, resources constraints, I mean, all those things. So don't plan in ideal conditions. Be realistic and keep in view the resources which you have, the time which you have, the type of learners that you have, the scope of your course so far as employability is concerned. I mean, all those things you have to keep into your mind. Then comes creating a curriculum map. And what is curriculum map? There are total 4 units. In every unit, there are 10 topics. So there are 40 topics. The available time is 90 days. So on average, I mean, either 2 days for one topic or 3 days of one topic. So how it is going to be taught? I mean, it will be needing laboratory, or it is simply lecture theater. How you are going to evaluate? I mean, every minute detail. So that is known as curriculum map. Then identify the instructional methods, how you're going to teach. I mean, it will be simply lecture, or it will be assignment, or it will be case study, or something else. Then establish evaluation method. I mean, it will be simply paper and pencil test, or some oral test, or some interview, or I mean, there are so many methods. So establish evaluation method. Last point is very important. Don't think you alone can do it, or if you will do it once, then it will be forever. You know, after every 3 years, after every 5 years, after every 7 years, you are required to go through it, to modify it. So I mean, so many people are involved, and continuously, I mean, we do it. And particularly nowadays, NEC and these bodies, you know, they somehow emphasize that after every 3 years or 5 years, you modify your curriculum. So I mean, it's not a one-step process. Now, there are some perspectives of curriculum design and development, and these perspectives are 4: technical scientific, non-technical non-scientific, then humanistic aesthetic, and finally, the social reconstructionist perspective. So I'm focusing on all these one by one. So first, let's talk about technical scientific perspective. So some points have been mentioned. I would like to request any one of you to please read these points. My friend, any one of you, please read the points.
Technical scientific perspective reflect a traditional orientation about education and formal methods of teaching, involves a logical step-by-step procedure, focus on the end product or performance of the students, subject-centered design.
So the first perspective, I mean, it's logical, step by step, and it believes in very formal setting, formal methods of teaching. And by and large, you know, it focuses on the end product or the performance of the students, and its design is mainly subject centered. I mean, less emphasis is on students' need and all those things. I mean, more emphasis on the outcome, or more emphasis on the performance. Contrary to it, we have non-technical, non-scientific perspective. So what is it? Any one of you, please read it. My friend, any one of you, please read it.
Non-technical, non-scientific perspective.
Yeah.
Flexible and less structured curriculum.
Yeah.
Considers that the curriculum evolves rather than being planned.
Yes.
Based on the progressive philosophy.
Right.
Main concerns are needs and interest of individual learners and the society. Gives recognition to the importance of music, arts, literature, health, education, and humanities.
Right.
Prefers learner-centered and problem-centered designs.
Right. Who are you, ma'am?
Sir, I'm Dr. Kehkashan Fatma.
Okay, Kehkashan. Yeah. In fact, I'm sorry, I couldn't see your face because, before me, screen is open. That's why I'm asking. Thank you, Kehkashan. So, if you'll compare non-technical and non-scientific perspective with the previous one, that is technical and scientific. So, previous one was much rigid, much formal. It is more flexible and less structured and less formal. And it considers that curriculum evolves rather than being planned. I mean, everything you can't plan. I mean, so many things, evolve with the evolution process. Then it is based on the progressive philosophy, that is main concerns are needs and interest of individual learners and society. It gives much importance to music, arts, literature, health, education, and humanities. So here I would like to take your opinion. My friend, do you think music, arts, all these things are important? My friends? My friends, what's your opinion? Music is important?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
okay.
sir. Everything is
Yes, sir,
important.
they are all important.
How music is important, ma'am? Okay, okay. So have you heard the name of C.V. Raman?
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Who was
C.V. Raman.
C.V. Raman? Who was he? Who was he? C.V. Raman? Nobel laureate, right? My friends?
Yes, sir, he was Nobel laureate.
Nobel laureate. So very genius one, of course. And he got the Nobel Prize for discovering one effect that is known as Raman effect. So he was driving the theorem. I mean, definitely it was very difficult. So, I mean, he was unable to move anywhere. I mean, stuck to the equations and all those models and, so then left that room, the study room. He left, he went to another room, and there was one guitar. He used to play with the guitar, so he started playing with the guitar. So I think 20 minutes or 25 minutes, something like that, he played with the guitar. Then all of a sudden some idea came to his mind. Then he came and finally completed the theorem, and finally he was given the Nobel Prize. So beauty of music is that it gives you soothing effects. It reduces your stress, it reduces your anxiety, it improves your concentration. And all the great philosophers, I mean, here I am mentioning Tagore. So Tagore repeatedly has mentioned that music is something very great. It is through the music that I reach to the God. I mean, music is very important. And in his education system, he put a lot of emphasis to music. So, this type of perspective, it talks about the importance of music and, arts. By the way, what's the importance of arts, my friends? What's your opinion, my friends?
Sir, is it the cultivation of aesthetics?
Aesthetic. And another thing, if someone is creative, so the first way to know whether someone is creative or not, it is the art, drawing and painting, isn't it, my friends? My friends.
Yes, sir.
So that's
A
why
form of
art.
expression of opinion.
Yes, yes. Arts are the basic, forms of expressions. So music is important. Arts, definitely literature, and what to talk of health education. I mean, always it has been important, but the era in which we are living, when people at the very young age of 25, 26, or 30, they are suffering from hypertension, they are suffering from diabetes, they are suffering from depression, and so many physical problems, diseases. So that necessitates the uh, you know uh, health education, and finally humanity. So this type of perspective gives due recognition to all these aspects. And finally, it prefers learner centered as well as problem centered. I mean, both type of designs it prefers. Now I'm coming to the next perspective, that is humanistic aesthetic perspective. So, what is it? I mean, it emphasizes on freedom, values, and abilities. It's very much based on democratic principles. It focuses on all-round development. It develops self-actualization, and it's neither mechanistic nor traditional nor rigid. I mean, as the name indicates, much emphasis on humanism, on humanity, on making the students more humane. So, I mean, it emphasizes all those things that I have mentioned. Now, I'm coming to the last perspective, that is social reconstructionist perspective. And for that, I would like to request any one of you to please read the slide. Social reconstructionist perspective. So, any one of you, please read the slide, my friends. My friends, any one of you, please read the slide.
Social reconstructionist perspective
Yeah.
emphasizes on addressing of social questions and a
Hmm.
quest to create a better society and worldwide democracy.
Hmm.
Focuses on a curriculum that highlights social reform,
Hmm.
believes that systems must be changed to overcome oppression
And
and
improve
improve
human.
human conditions,
Hmm.
recognizes that education is the means of preparing people for creating this new social order.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. So, after the Second World War, which was very destructive, million of people died, and so many countries were completely devastated. So a philosophy evolved in America, and that was social reconstructionism. So this philosophy talked about, let's reconstruct the society, and let's reconstruct the society based on, democracy. So let's create a better society and worldwide democracy. Let's address the social questions through education. Let's highlight the social reforms. Let's try to overcome the oppression and improve the human condition. And for that, curriculum should be designed in such a way that all such type of issues are reflected in the curriculum, so that students might be sensitized from the very beginning, and the moment they will be sensitized, they will be able to do the needful. So this is the, since America's influence is over all the world, so slowly and slowly this philosophy, emerged from USA and then reached to another part of the country, another part of the globe. And everywhere, this philosophy was welcomed, because people saw, destruction and all those. So this philosophy, this a perspective in a nutshell, talks about creating democracy, talks about creating a better society, talks about social reform, talks about overcoming oppression and improving human condition. And for that, they prefer that all such type of things should be mentioned in the curriculum. So that's all, my friend. Thank you very much for listening to me. So I started my lecture by asking a question, what curriculum is. Then I explained what curriculum is. Then I differentiated how curriculum is different from syllabus. Then I talked about various components of curriculum, purposes of curriculum design. I talked about types of curriculum design, that is subject-centered, learner-centered, and problem-centered. Then I talked about the tips, the steps of curriculum design. And finally, I talked about the four perspectives on curriculum design, that is technical, scientific, non-technical, non-scientific, humanistic, aesthetic, and finally the social reconstructionism. So I'm quite sure you people have understood what I want to say. So it is 6:51 by my watch. Still we have 9 minutes. So if you want to ask any question, or if you want to share anything with me, definitely you can. So I'm available for you. Thank you very much for listening to me.
Anyone has any questions for Professor Sajid Jamal? Thank you, Professor, for sharing with us all your knowledge on curriculum. We just went back to our school days. The way teacher used to teach us. Every small bit of thing, everything was crystal clear. Whatever you had explained, and all the case studies and situations and the examples that you had given were very brilliant and very thought provoking. Thanks for this wonderful evening.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'm highly grateful to Kekasha ma'am, Sushmita ma'am, Tamim sir. These people were very, Shipra ma'am. All these people were very interactive. So thank you, my friends. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, participants. So tomorrow we have the second day, and we'll be joining at 3:30. So all of you all know 3:30 to 5 is one session. Then we have 5 to 5:30 a break, and then we resume from 5:30 to 7 p.m. Thank you. We'll meet you tomorrow. Bye bye. Good night, Professor. Good morning.
Thank you.
Good
Thank
evening.
you.
All.
Yes, ma'am. Excuse me.
Yeah. Please tell me.
Ma'am, did you say something about the assessment that was supposed to be done today?
Assessment. Yeah, I think so. It will be put in the group. Okay, we have another coordinator on the other side. Okay, from AMU. So whatever assessment is there will be put in the group from AMU. Right.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much. Bye bye.